Hey, welcome to Rock the Block. I'm your host, John Block, and we are here for Low Key Giants Rock the Block. We have a special guest in the house. Super excited about Mr. Craig Blackmore. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. So happy that you are here. I've seen your work around the space. I've seen your work around Metaverse and crypto boxes and places like that. So it's great to actually see your face and talk with you today. I'm thinking like right off the bat, right? I've seen you do many things. I know, you built your venue. You're doing art, illustration. I see 3D. Are you doing music as well? So tell me about you being a multidisciplinary artist. What's your creative outlets?
Well, it all started with like drawing comic strips. I love drawing comic strips, and I used to do that all the time when I was a kid. And in music, I used to write music lyrics in my notebooks all the time as well, next to drawing. Eventually, when I got older, like a teenager, I got into the production side of music and recording and things like that. And that's what really started all of the different creative directions. Is once I started to produce and record my own music, I wanted to film my own music videos. I wanted to direct the different projects that my music's going for, because I always wanted to score movies. So I started to learn about the production, the way to produce movies and write movies, scripts and things like that, and different camera techniques. I went to school a little bit for it. But yeah, it all started with me making the music and needing somewhere to put it without actually having to apply for record labels or find someone to give me the platform. I wanted to always create it myself. So that's really what led on to learning more and more. I'm like, okay, I need this now. I'm going to learn how to do this. I was a photographer, needed to learn how to retouch and edit and do all that. So yeah, I just filled in all the gaps with more knowledge. And now it's at a point where for bigger productions, I know how to hire people to take certain jobs because I've done them before. So yeah, I'm like, if I'm going to be an artist, I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to learn as much about creating and the creative process as I can. So that's what really started that hunger to learn new crafts and new mediums and things like that.
Wow, that's amazing. So, and we know that this, NFT blockchain space allows you, like you said, to express all of these different creative aspects. And so what did creation look like for you before blockchain and NFTs and this kind of technology?
Well, half of it went to creating things for fun, and the other half went to freelance work. I did a lot of freelance work for a while. I had some creative jobs, like I've worked for Live Nation before. I've done things for Xfinity, like for their advertisements, and it's cool. But you never really get paid what you deserve with that. So that's when I started to do freelance, and that opened me up to more job opportunities and whatnot. But for the most part, I tried to create my own art and then find places to sell it or do like music videos, animations for music videos and things like that. And then whenever I wasn't working on a bigger project, I'd have time to do more of my like free, fun art that isn't for anything in particular. And that's where my best stuff is, obviously, because it's just my imagination, and I'm not trying to sell, a bag of chips with a crazy animation. So for the most part, yeah, it was work and then some free art. Work, free art, figuring out how to make the business work, a little bit of free art. And yeah, once NFTs came into the picture, my free art now had a higher demand again. I didn't have to necessarily put so much so much overhead payment to get the art ready to sell, because usually you have to create it, make it perfect, print it out like 5 times to make sure the colors come right, or if you make your own prints, you got to go through that process. Then you need the gallery space to display it, and then comes the person that purchases it. And it's just so much in between creating the piece and getting it to the person that NFTs kind of eliminate it or made easier, especially when you do animations, because that's still not a typical thing, selling animations on screens or animations for people to just have for displaying purposes. So NFTs filled a lot of those gaps. And I've always been into VR, AR, and the metaverse, and seeing NFTs just solved so many gaps in my mind about monetization and digital goods or digital assets like cars in GTA that only 5 people can have. You know, something the same concept, but now it has a real world value. So all the money you put into your game or your virtual world is transferable to your fiat physical world, and that's just amazing. So that's what got me into it.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what are some of your favorite platforms for exhibiting your work, spending time in, or just sharing it with an audience?
I'm kind of a rebel, so like I loved OpenSea. I still love OpenSea. OpenSea is amazing because you know it's like the index of everything on Ethereum. But Super Rare is great. I'm not gonna lie, I love the kind of exclusivity of it. You know, you're not gonna have your art next to someone who just threw something together in an app and trying to sell it at a ridiculous price. It's more artists who kind of understand their own value, collectors who understand what they're looking for. So I really appreciate that about Super Rare, and I don't mind putting some of my, you know, most valued stuff there. But other than that, I really like some of the alternative marketplaces like NFT Showroom on Hive. Ghost Market on Phantasma is really cool, and even Hic et Nook or Hen on Tezos is pretty cool. It's just because you know that one's really experimental, and it's really cool to see what a bare bones decentralized platform behaves like, because you know a lot of the platforms we used to have been tested and they've been around for a minute. That's new and that's really naked, and all the features of it are actually separate from the actual platform. So it's really cool to see what happens with that and what kind of art is placed there when only a few people know about it, things like that.
Low key challenge.
I got into crypto in 2017 during the initial Bitcoin bull run, that first one. And I always held some tokens since then, but I kind of put the technology on the back burner because, you know, it was over after the crash, and then everyone was like, all right, back to regular life now. And I was kind of the same way. But I remember during that research, I learned about different things or different ways that artists were using blockchain technology to authenticate their art via scannable stickers. And after things started to shut down in 2020, I was always prepared to go virtual. You know, like that was never a new thing. But I wanted to find a way to have an edge on it. And at that time, I was looking at other investments, other cryptocurrencies to get into. Ethereum was still under $200 at the time. And I was like, well, I know Ethereum's going to do great. So I got really into Ethereum and the technology behind it. And then when I started looking at art and Ethereum, OpenSea came up. And I was like, well, this is great. It's like Instagram, except you have the potential to actually make some money off of your own work versus Facebook getting to make all the money off your own work. So I threw some pieces on OpenSea to just see what happens. And a couple collectors, we have Pharaoh from NFT.Black was one of my first collectors. Lander was one of my first collectors. And after that, they kind of brought me into the game. Some taught me the ropes, taught me like what this really was. They're like, you know, Pharaoh was telling me like, yo, you don't know what you just stepped into. He's like, yeah, it's art and all that, but dude, no, listen. And he was telling me about what was going on in Asia, because it was huge at the time in Asia, and how he was showing me different artists who would drop like a card series that would sell out in hours. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is a thing? And so I was all in. I was like, there's nothing else going on in the world. Everything's locked down. So I'm like, I'm going to learn about this, and I'm going to get into this because it makes sense for what I'm trying to do, bigger picture. And yeah, I haven't looked back since. It's been like at some point I was even dreaming about crypto stuff. You know, it was so much to learn and such a cool new world within a world. So I stumbled.
That's amazing. Well, you're in this now and you're doing the thing. So what tips, like if you had to simplify it, right? Maybe like what 3 tips would you give to artists who maybe they're on the outside looking in and they're seeing you, wow, Craig's getting down, he's actually selling work and he's doing his thing. What like 3 tips would you give to a new artist?
Research. Do your own research for sure, because now that NFTs are as popular as they are, there's a lot of bad markets and there's a lot of good markets. There's a lot of projects that literally just came up 30 minutes ago, and they're going to tell you that it's been there forever and that it's, flawless, when in reality, even the old markets aren't flawless. Be careful what you meant. Don't steal people's artwork and avoid scams. Protect your email address, because most people are open with their email, but in crypto, you need new identity. So you need new email, new phone number to work with, all that to protect you from what's out there, because it's still the Wild West and the scammers are lurking. Stay patient, because collectors, like I said, it's new. There's not 1 million NFT collectors yet. There's maybe 1,000. Artists are collectors too on the lower end, but like the actual whales who are collecting, it's only a few of them. So you got to be patient, especially if you're dropping expensive work. It may not sell now, but the blockchain knows the date that your work was minted, and that's important. The older it is, it still gets value, just like collectible coins. That's what you gotta think of your artwork as. I look at it kind of like, this is the art that goes onto a collectible coin. So you're etching your art into this token, and this token allows you to attach music to it, allows you to attach digital goods to it, 3D objects to it. So yeah, it may take some time before the collector comes, but keep promoting yourself and keep your head up, because it can get crazy. You can create something that's so dope, and your friends can create some stuff that's so dope, and then you see a random person out of nowhere sell like pixelated poop for $1 million. It happens. It's gonna happen. But that's got nothing to do with you. So don't let it, deter you from getting involved and learning about it and finding your way to use it, because it's new. No one owns it. It's decentralized technology. So if you have a vision for it, this is where you can test it, because people got money and they're supporting ideas that are good. On Twitter, you can just ask someone to pop up. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's really amazing tips. Everybody definitely rewind, go back and listen to those tips again from Mr. Craig Blackmore. Those are awesome tips for getting started. So, Craig, tell us about current or upcoming projects that you have right now that we all should know about and keep an eye out for.
Well, I'm working on something I've actually been trying to do is figure out how to create my own, almost like a television series mixed with graphic novel, mixed with, just I had a lot of ideas, and I'm finally at the point, skill-wise, resource-wise, and outreach. Like my outreach is good enough that I can start to create my little universe. So the main project I'm working on is designing the characters, the settings, the story, the backstory, and everything about this universe that I'm creating. It's theoretical. It takes place in the future. But all the NFTs that I've been dropping recently, the animated ones, are connected to that universe. It's showing bits and pieces of that universe. It'll all make sense soon when I put it all together. But I'm working on an EP called Life is But a Glitch. And that EP is an introduction to this world, this universe. There will be virtual places that you can go, galleries that show art from it. And the universe is kind of a dystopian future that is not going to be too far from what we're experiencing in Western society today, Eastern society too. But it's based off of now, it's based off of the past, and it's based off of concepts of the future. It's based off of different religions. I have a lot of deities that are going to be in this universe that are actually part machine. And I also just dropped the first episode of a YouTube series called Explore the Metaverse with Craig Blackmore, where we're literally just going to go check out virtual worlds on like crypto voxels or different, small bits of the metaverse that people are developing, things in Oculus. The first episode, we talked about NFTs. We looked at the homepage of a few NFT platforms. It's all about the metaverse. So it's kind of like the MTV Cribs of the metaverse. And just dropped the first episode on that. I'm going to work on the next episode later, and we'll have that dropped in a few days too on YouTube. So, yeah, I got a lot going on, just bringing it all together and putting it out there. So if you just follow me on Twitter, you'll catch it.
Awesome. Hey, well, we appreciate you taking the time, sharing some amazing tips and background about your story, and we look forward to experiencing more of your work. Thanks for making time today, Craig.
Thanks for having me.
A special guest in the building with us today, Mr. Ethan Berg of Agora VR. Ethan, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. So Agora VR, I had a chance to experience it. It's pretty amazing. So tell everybody, tell us about Agora VR. Tell us about your vision and how it all got started.
Yeah, it sounds great. We actually recently changed the name to Agora World, just to kind of more bring that into concept. But I mean, ultimately, I guess I started this during my junior year, sophomore year at Temple University. So I'm a recent graduate as of last May during the pandemic in 2020. And, I came to this vision because one of my really good friends graduated slightly before I did. And he moved across the country to California. I'm based in Philly. And we learned really quickly that outside of video games, FaceTime and video chat, plus text and social media, there wasn't really a lot for us to bond over and to do together. So our initial vision was to build a virtual reality shopping platform where, retailers could build their own storefronts, upload 3D models of their products. You walk into a mall, you see other shoppers there at the same time as yourself. And, we quickly found out it was a novelty because Amazon has about 1 million options. Our stores had about 40. So, while it worked great and it was a really immersive concept, we came to find out that the thing that really brought people together was that fact alone, was bringing people together and having something that you can truly experience together. So since then, me and my co-founder, Sky Knight, me and him actually have pivoted slightly last August to building an immersive social platform. So overall, it's an open 3D platform, and the goal is really to transfer the lonely, flat 2D experience that we have now into a living, breathing 3D ecosystem with an emphasis on real-life experiences in a digital format.
Wow, that sounds really amazing. So what kind of events have you done so far, and how's it going?
Yeah, I mean, it's going great, honestly. We've held things from, we held Philly Tech Week's opening event a couple of weeks back in conjunction with PACT, which was a phenomenal event. We had people from the Philadelphia community come to this event from Philly, LA. We had some in Japan that showed up, which was really awesome. So, we had face-to-face real interactions with people that you normally wouldn't be able to take part in this. We held a career fair with Diversitech Summit back in March, 250 attendees. On average, they spent about 1 hour and 40 minutes within the platform itself, walking around, interacting with one another, meeting potential hires, and then meeting potential candidates. And then from there, we've done art galleries, nonprofit fundraising events. We're dabbling in retail a little bit, and we're getting into tours now and classes and education.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I say, and I had a chance to visit for Philly Tech Week, and it was really awesome. I had a chance to meet some new folks, swap some information and emails, and it was great. And I love how it really feels like you're right there in the experience, those kind of social norms I see are still in place, right? So if it's a group of people talking, you don't necessarily want to just kind of, bum rush that group. You kind of wait your turn or someone's walking by. So it's really cool. in that way.
Yeah, much more fluid. I'd say it's we found that it's really natural is the thing. It's like you're used to it from real life. So even those that aren't technically the most technically sound, they're not the most adept at using this kind of stuff. They find out really quickly it's just like real life, and they're able to navigate and interact with people just as they would if they went to a physical location.
Yeah, very cool. So let's talk about features. What kind of features are embedded in this Agora world?
Oh man, there's a ton. I don't even know where to start. So I guess the main thing that we're doing is the foundation, right? So ultimately, we're building that ecosystem. We had someone compare it to WordPress for 3D, was the way they described it. Because as I said, we want this to be a community-led ecosystem. So I'd say at the core, which is what we've been focused on, is the ability to host 3D environments an infinite amount. The social interaction system, the fluid interaction, echo cancellation, cross-platform development, and then obviously some no-code customization tools, which I would say that's probably our biggest unique proposition from our standpoint, is we've tried to make it so that anybody can create their own immersive social experience. I myself have no coding background, so if you asked me to change the color of something, there's no way I got that. I'd figure it out, but it's not my domain. Obviously, I would say as one of the lead designers on this team, and obviously along with my technical co-founder, we've curated a vision that will allow us to make it as simple as creating a Facebook profile to actually develop these spaces with simple walkthrough steps, uploading an image, uploading a product, video, typing a description, title, put a URL, and you select what slot it goes to. On that wall, I want on slot 5, I want on table 2, slot 37, and when you press save, our system will place it there for you. So you don't really have to understand how it works to begin reaping the benefits.
Wow, very cool, very cool. So this concept you had in mind prior to COVID?
Yeah, I guess so. We started the the shopping platform in 2019.
Okay.
So I guess we were a little ahead of the game. My dad used to bring home all the new technology. We were always into video games, me, him, and my brother. So he brought home the Oculus Rift, I believe, with an S.
Yes.
It was just, it's literally, it's unbelievable. The Quest is another level now. And I think it just really opened my eyes to the possibilities of what you can really create and, again, experience with other people. That's the main thing that I'd say we found is really lacking. What can you really share? And what memories can you make with other people online?
Yeah, for sure. So what's your, you're definitely a visionary in what you're doing with the Agora world. So what is your vision of the future? How do you think, we're going to interact socially moving forward?
It's a great question. I think in-person's here to stay. Anyone that's kind of against that, I think is a little delusional, not to put a term on or label on anybody. But, I've heard a lot of other founders that are creating virtual event and those kind of platforms that have said, I love virtual events so much better. And in reality, it's just not true. Anyone that says that, again, they're lying to themselves. So I think that the way we're looking at it is that the online experience is lacking in that it doesn't feel real. And with the technology currently available, I can't even imagine what's going to be available in the near future. But I feel as if we can kind of transform the online experience to be similar to that of in-person, but provide all the benefits of online. No geographical barriers. There's unlimited information that you can tap into at one given second. So it's a lot easier to curate that worldwide web network, I guess, that we're heading towards, the spatial web. But I do believe a hybrid space will be the main future. I can imagine 10 years from now, you go to a conference, there's an in-person experience and an online experience, and they're literally linked. In person, you're wearing AR glasses. Online, you're within the virtual metaverse. The space is identical. So you scan a 3D model of Philadelphia Convention Center, let's say. You put the booths in the same exact location, practically the same design, same exact space between all of them, so it feels real. And while they're walking through the space in person, they'd be able with the AR see those virtually walking past them in the digital format in the same geolocation. And those that are online using camera technology, crowd control, AI type stuff, they're going to get the biometrics of those in-person people to be scanned into the virtual world, so you can have that merged interaction. And I think that to me is inevitable. I don't know when it will happen, but I'm very excited for it to be the case. And I more look at it because at this point, we're a global ecosystem, we're a global community. I really don't like the geographical barrier side of things. because at the end of the day, we need people going to the moon. We're going to be sending people to Mars. So to say that we've got people in multiple worlds, yet our global community is not able to connect in a real way yet is just, it's upsetting, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, that's really exciting. So let's talk about, end users for you, right? So what kind of end users are you looking for? Who should go, seek out or grow a world? You're looking for the artists, you're looking for the business, you're looking for everybody, who are you looking for?
Yeah, ultimately we want everyone to have access. That's why we're creating these no-code customization tools. Like there shouldn't be a technological expertise barrier or a money barrier. It's pretty expensive to get these things developed at this point. As you know, you're involved in all of these kind of things. So, I think tools like you use CryptoVoxels, you use, VR chat. There's a lot of other platforms that have created an easier way to get it done, but you still need to understand how it works. So I would say for us that main end user is the person who isn't in video games, the person that really doesn't know that this is possible yet. We've had 80% of our users have told us they've never done or seen something like it before. So while it's out there, the awareness isn't quite there, the exposure isn't quite there. But ultimately, I'd say our main clients that we're going after first are universities and corporate organizations.
So once again, Ethan Berg with the Agora World. Appreciate you taking time to talk with us, Ethan.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
To the hip, get a diddle tag, damn pam, but not stick nigga. Way too pretty for a fine chick picture. Thinking
but I know you gon' love it. Fish just made me the beat. Say go and do it justice while I'm going super bad. Green Martian manhunter.
So I resent the question. Will you rephrase it, please? Yes.
What are your political opinions? Have they been changed at all?
My political opinions have only been deepened.
Seems like the only thing I felt was universal love from stone. So I was just trying to be just to show. I was just trying to fight for freedom. I was just trying to oppose the heathen. I was just trying to do what I must. I was just do it all till I'm dust. I was just trying to follow God's plan. I was just trying to cut off the upper hand. I was just trying to go over time. I was just trying to stand for the brother man. Trying to be
along the river. But there is only one man who will not run away when he sees the ostrich feathers of the old king's warrior.
And you are that one man.
I am the one man.
Trying to adjust the joke. I was just trying to fight for freedom. I was just trying to oppose the heathen. I was just trying to do what I must. I was just do it all till I'm dust. I was just trying to follow God's plan. I was just trying to cut off the upper hand. I was just trying to stand for the brother man. I was just trying to be Paul Robinson. Just trying to be Paul Robinson. Just trying to be Paul Robinson. Just trying to be Paul Robinson.
So the idea of my concert is one suggestion that all men are brothers because of their music. And in my first group, I would say that my people would be very proud of mine or any other Negro actor appearing in such a part.
On the ground, and the man steps on my fingers and takes my nails off of my hand, and I'm bleeding.
and I become absolutely out of my mind. Sumashit, and the man comes by, and I'm about to tackle him, and I take him, and as far as I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna kill him. So I won't be singing, except for the rights of my people for the next couple of years. No pretty songs, gentlemen. No pretty songs. Time for some full sausage. Understandable?
Robeson once said to me, he said, Harry, get them to sing your song, meaning the world, people. Get them to sing your song, and they will want to know who you are, 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 who you are.
I know this dude that walked like an apostle and preached with his tools, but don't get it misconstrued. Like the tools that cock back. Webster and scripted encyclopedia stated fact forward. He's a mechanic and he works with his hands. 3 kids, 1 wife, he's a pinnacle man. Won't change brick for sand, but stand like a soon come Kemet race again, it's forward. And that night I know he speaks with his tools. The pen to the paper to rectify the rules recited by these fools that they can master, not ceremonies but stools. And while cesspool being to redirect the goal, society chokeholds and pain that shall invoke. And as my man stands between fatherhood and his dream, the spirit speaks in God, you'll have all things, so move forward. You in a tight grip, rock just a little, pull yourself out of it forwards. Most of y'all wouldn't even believe what it really means to be an MC. We move forward. You in a tight grip, rock just a little bit, roll yourself out of it forwards. Rest of y'all ain't about to pretend like you really know the struggles we bend. We move forward. So I don't want to slow, Mister. This is my life, my pay, my.
Yeah. I want to talk about hyperlinks.
Oh yeah, baby.
No, baby. And not just regular text, baby.
That's right.
It's text that takes you everywhere. Yeah.
Welcome, sunny California. We have our #1 spot for the week. In consecutive weeks, we have John Block with Super Cali. You know we play the hits, nothing but the. Let's go. Hey.
Super Cali magic sipping purple power potion. Super Cali magic sipping purple power potion. Super Cali magic sipping purple power potion. Super Cali magic, 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 magic. Super Cali magic sipping purple power potion.
Hey neighbor, thanks for tuning in to Awesome Sauce.
Did somebody say awesome sauce?
Hey cool cat, what you have there?
Oh, this is my smartphone. Smartphones for very smart people, you know.
Oh, is that so? What are you doing with it?
I'm just looking up some Facts on rats.
Facts on rats.
Yes, facts on rats. Yeah, did you know rats' teeth never stop growing?
Wow. Okay. How did you use your smartphone to find that out?
Oh, I went to this website called www.factsonrats.com.
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 All right, that's pretty cool. Want to learn something else cool today?
Yeah, man.
One of the reasons they call your phone a smartphone is because not only can you make calls like a regular phone, but you can also access the World Wide Web.
The who, what, why?
The World Wide Web. It's the system that we use to connect to web pages and mobile apps using the internet, which is the name for the computer network all this information travels on.
Are you having a stroke? I understood nothing you said.
No, I'm not having a stroke, silly. It can all be very complicated, but we'll start slow. Well, web pages are built using HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language.
Hyperloop Makeup Landings, got it. That's a weird name for a language. Is it like French, like parlez-vous français?
No. Almost. It's the language the World Wide Web understands. So, here we go. I have some friends that can help us understand a little bit better. So, just stay tuned.
Hyperlink is what you think when you take a drink, when you go to the sink, when you go to the ice rink. It's everything. It's a baking soda, holy water. Gotta get a bra for your daughter. That was inappropriate. Yeah.
Tag, you're it. Ha, no, silly. I'm not talking about that kind of tag. We're talking about HTML tags. Tags are the way we tell the web browser what and how things show up in our web page. Take a look at this web page I'm working on now. At the very top, we have the doc type tag. It lets the browser know that this page is written in HTML. All tags use the open angle brackets, and this is very important. The next tag is the HTML tag. It tells the browser that this is an HTML document. Most tags have an opening and a closing part. Next, we have a head tag and the body tag. The head tag is where all the important stuff is processed first, like CSS. We'll talk more about that in another episode. And the body tag is the one that contains all your website's content. So that's about it for now. And come back later and I'll show you more.
Oh yeah, baby. It's an A tag. Oh yeah. The most important tag there is, baby. Yeah.
Hey, Grandpa's Gas.
Boy, what you want? No.
I just wanted to ask you.
What?
Talk about HTML today. So,
first of all, where's my plums?
I didn't go to the.
You were supposed to go to the store, get my plums, bring them back, and you want me to talk.
Listen, but first I wanted to ask you.
I don't care about no HTM whatever. Okay, till you bring some plums, we're gonna watch some old cartoons. Here we go. Now this is what's happening.
About something else today.
I don't care. Next time, bring me my plums, and you won't have no problem. Every time I ask you to do something for me, you gotta get me to run around. You come back and ask me to do something.
Just ask Grandpa. I'll go get the plums, but if you can,
I don't care. Just watching. This is what we're doing right now.
I'll go get the plums, but if you can just first talk about the HTML.
Okay. Well, go back to the store, get some plums, then I'll talk about whatever you want me to talk about. There we go. All right. Young kids these days, boy, I tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Sometimes a hyperlink is underlined.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And undermined and unrefined. So mine. Yeah, when I see a hyperlink, I think and I blink. Let's get it.
Hello, my name is Anthony Howard, owner of ATH Arts. I've worked as a creative professional for over 20 years, servicing a variety of companies and agencies. As a small business owner myself, one of the biggest things that bothers me is how hard it is for other small business owners to access high-quality professional design. The education, specialization, and difficulty involved in producing good design often requires several hours of work. Since most designers bill at an hourly rate, project budgets can often balloon out of control. Of course, there are many affordable online do-it-yourself options, but they don't help you with the most critical thing each new business needs: a cohesive and comprehensive marketing strategy paired with compelling design. Without a strategy of how you want to communicate with your customers, the best design in the world won't win new ones. Our new Flex accounts are custom made for emerging entrepreneurs who seek high-quality design, but at a rate they can afford, while also having a design professional available to them along the way for feedback and advice. Our Flex accounts offer amazing benefits to new business owners. We offer subscription-based pricing. What that means is instead of paying the traditional 50% upfront cost for your project, we work with you to craft a monthly schedule. This allows you to take the time needed to complete your project carefully and comprehensively, and also manage project costs over the length of the project. We offer marketing strategy, consultation, and coaching. We work with you to craft a branding and marketing strategy to ensure that your project has the optimal chance for success. We'll set up a video meeting schedule with one of our creative professionals according to your schedule and availability. It's very important that we issue clear and simple proposals and contracts to ensure that there is no confusion about your project and how it will be implemented. You can visit ATH Arts to find out more about our Flex accounts. Thank you for considering ATH Arts for your project. Have an awesome and productive day.
Yo, it's your boy Greasy Mike, your favorite blogger, give you the latest internet tech news. It's a ratchet part of Oakland. First up, we have the new hot site, www.factsonrats.com, son. It's down, son. It got hacked, son. Allegedly, it got hacked by an individual. If you've seen this individual, please report him to the authorities. Word, son, I ain't no snitch. I ain't no snitch, Poppy ain't no snitch. I ain't gonna tell on him. You can tell on him. That's it. Alright, come back to your boy Greasy Mike. Coming back to you again with some latest internet tech news. Out. Oh, here we go on a flow. Let's take a show in. So let's go to www.getticketstothetheater.com, and me and you, baby, we go for a night of magic. Yeah. Just me and you, baby, watching Cats. Yeah. Yeah, let's get it.
Facts. Yeah.
So, for my robots out there, yeah. Let's talk about tags for a second. Get a pen and pad so you can peep this lesson. Just professing, not stressing, not testing. But with HTML, you got to know the essence. First we got the A-tab. It's for hyperlinks, exactly what you think. Take you from one site to another. My brother, that's an easy one. Let's move on to another. Then you have the B-tag. Coming through with the bold swag. Coming through with the full max. Use it for emphasis, yo, when you big mad. Then you got his homeboy strong. They do the same thing, that's why they get along. Then you got the body tag. Don't use it, they put you in a body bag, yeah.
Well, that's it for our show. Thanks for stopping by. Come back soon for the next edition of Awesome Sauce. Apparently, Cool Cat had to leave in a hurry, but we'll address that later. Peace.
You gotta make sure you use your brackets in this racket when you write your A tag. You link to another web page on the internet, the World Wide Web, whatever you want to call it. Yes. It's how you get from one web page to another because it's a hyperlink, hypertext, hyperlink, hypertext.
Dreams are the fuel for our reality. Dreams drive us to push past our limits. Dreams are the playground of artists, geniuses, and madmen. Dreams are a primal force that shoots us to the stars. But when it's all said and done, the world requires doers, building businesses, forging our narratives, creating our technology. Doers are not content with standing on the edge. They dive in, head first, into the unknown. Now, dreams are great, but when you are ready to do, call me. ATH Arts, dreaming of new ways to help you do you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Had a late start, or actually a late night last night, streaming, creating animation on this live stream. So a little tired this morning, a little bit beat, so I kind of played some old content. And I'm trying to get Decentraland popping, but it's taking forever. So we may switch over to, actually let's do that. We're going to switch over to Crypto Voxels. Wow, that stops tripping. Give me 1 second. Crypto Voxels up and running. Change the screen. Okay, now we're in business. Yeah, Decentraland, like I said, it's so graphics heavy. I think that is its only limitation for portability. sign in here. If I need more light, the lighting is never ideal. Okay, so sign into my wallet now. Okay. So where to today, my friends, in the metaverse? Where do we go? Where do we go? Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. Thanks for the follow, Blockchain 420. All right. So let's dive in a little bit. And let's kind of just hit play. Okay, we need some music. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's do some crypto voxel exploration. All right, where are we? Let's see what's popping in the metaverse today. I'm still not signed in. Refill my coffee soon. There we go. I'm gonna refresh. This is my box. Puppet is the enemy. Otherwise, not just going to sign it. See again, I'm not signed in. What is going on? Today on the puppet. It's only it glitches out sometimes like that. I don't know why. So it one more time so you can actually do part not me, just the boss. See, I wish my animation workers I can challenge them to an up rock. Some MetaVerse trouble. Give me a second.
Right now, exactly where you are.
with that. Some people just go with
In your body, right?
To dance is to move.
In your body, right?
I see you dancing. And I hear you singing.
I see you dancing.
buggy today. We're going to call it a day today. Have a great morning, everybody. I think I need to restart my computer. All right, see you out with these cartoons. Have a good day.